World War III, Romania in urgent warning to NATO, Russia ramps up activity in Black Sea. Romania has warned of Russia ramping up naval activity in the Black Sea and has vowed to boost European defense when it takes over the rotating EU presidency in January. The NATO member sounded the alarm after announcing it had already increased military spending in the face of what it sees as a growing threat from Moscow. Defense Minister Mihai Fifer said, "The Russian Federation is using the Black Sea to project force in the eastern Mediterranean. The situation has changed dramatically in the last year. Mr. Fifer said Bucharest planned to unveil 2 more major military procurement programs before the end of the year in addition to the planned purchase of new fighter jets and other equipment. He said Romania had met the NATO defense spending target of 2% of gross domestic product, GDP, for the past 2 years, and would continue spending at that level for a decade. Mr. Fifer said, "We plan to add 2 more major programs after we present them to the Supreme Defense Council." He gave no details on what type of acquisitions would be involved in the 2 procurement programs. Earlier this year, Romania signed up to buy Patriot missile defense systems as part of an integrated air defense system. It also hosts a U.S. ballistic missile defense station and has contributed troops to U.S.-led and NATO campaigns in Iraq and Afghanistan. In July, Romania's Supreme Defense Council, CST, approved an 11% increase for 2019 of the number of troops Romania will make available to participate in external missions and operations. Romanian Foreign Minister Tudor Vălășcanu said strengthening cybersecurity and addressing hybrid warfare threats from Russia would also be an additional focal point during Romania's presidency of the EU. Russian military chiefs confirmed warships from its Black Sea battle group had been carrying out operations in the Mediterranean. Fleet spokesman Captain Alexei Rulov said, "The Pitlovy Guard ship of the Black Sea Fleet has completed its missions as part of a permanent task force of the Russian Navy in the Mediterranean Sea and set off for Sevastopol. Now the vessel is passing through the Dardanelles and Bosporus Straits and is heading to the Black Sea. The vessel is expected to arrive in Sevastopol, Crimea, by the end of this week." He said the crew held various drills led by the Russian Navy Commander-in-Chief to practice a battle solely and as part of a naval group performing artillery fire against surface and air targets.
Alright, shalom. This is Kanaksa Anbanyasha Allah from the GMS Lions in Camp. First and foremost, I'd like to say Kal Halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakakwadash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of the Great Millstone, and salutation to the argument that are pushing this truth and sincerity and truth throughout the 4 corners of the earth, and peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Alright, this is kind of like an on-the-go impromptu in transit. I'm in the middle of going from one job to the next. I'm gonna put these articles in the description box so y'all can look at them yourself. But there's a lot of things going on in the news today. You had the stock market crash. You had the stock market drop yesterday, and it dropped again today, 800 more points. Well, 500 more points. It is 1,000 points yesterday. You got Russia testing new nuclear missiles, and then you got them setting up in the Black Sea. Then you got them setting up over there in Africa, in northern Africa and Libya. All right, so many things going on, man. You know, and it's just a sign of, you know what I'm saying, how about Shimmy Shai coming to do his work, man. Okay. Let me get Ezekiel chapter 12, verse 28. It says, "Therefore say unto them, Thus saith the Lord, there shall none of my words be prolonged anymore, but the word which I have spoken, all right, shall be done, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai." All right, and that's just it. Just like how Apostle Dahar said, this is 2018 year of prophecy. All right, so let me read this one of his articles real quick. All right, it says this is the Russian military has tested components of its nuclear deterrence, including land-launched nuclear missiles, nuclear-armed submarines, and strategic aircraft with nuclear bombs intended for retaliation against enemy attacks. All three components of the Russian nuclear triad were involved in the exercise on Thursday. All right. The military released footage of the drill, which shows naval missiles launches and the deployment of Tu-95MS, Tu-22M3s, and Tu-160 bombers carrying missiles. These test launches were conducted by ships of the North and Pacific fleets, as well as strategic bombers of the long-range aviation of the Russian Air Force. Right, the launches were detected as intended by ground and space assets of the Russian ballistic missile early warning system. All right, and it's just showing you all different video clips on, you know, on this whole testing of their nuclear devices, right? And they're getting ready for America, man. They're getting ready for America. That's just it. China's getting ready for America. As a matter of fact, it's like, hold on one second. All right, as a matter of fact, this was released today. It says Trump, Chinese live too well for too long. All right. It says U.S. President Donald Trump has said that his tariffs policies have hurt the Chinese economy and that he has a lot more to do to the country. All right. But Jack Ma says U.S. will suffer more if it keeps trying to start a Cold War with China. All right. In a phone-in interview with Fox News, Trump and U.S. tariff on Chinese goods are having a big impact, and that the Chinese have lived too well for too long. Trump began imposing tariffs on hundreds of billions of dollars worth of Chinese imports in January 2018, with Beijing retaliating by slapping tariffs on U.S. goods in response. Top U.S. officials have been seen using aggressive rhetoric against China in recent weeks, painting it as a grave threat to U.S. interests. All right, but see, the thing about it was a couple weeks ago I did a lesson, and China was saying if they don't lift the tariffs, that they're going to be willing to respond with provocation. And I looked up that word provocation. All right, it says provocation. Action or speech that makes someone annoyed or angry, especially deliberately. All right. And if you look at one of the other definitions, it says law, action or speech held to be likely to prompt physical retaliation. All right. So basically, the physical retaliation is going to be China, and Russia going up against America, man. And the thing about it is, Trump is saying China has been living deliciously or living well for too long. You know what I'm saying? But America, has been, been living, too well for too long. All right. All right. This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 3. It says, "For all nations have drunk off the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornications with her, and the merchants of the earth have um, waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." And that's just it. All right. So America's the one that's been living rich, you know what I'm saying? For so long. All right. She has heaped up gold and silver, but the just shall divide the spoils, so to speak, you know? According to thus saith Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. You know? So but we're almost out of here, man. You know? It's only a matter of time before, you know what I'm saying, the destruction comes, man. All right. So I ain't gonna make this too long, man. I'm gonna put the description of a link in the description box for the lessons. All right. So you can your brothers can go read them yourself, man. So hold your head up, man. Endure to the end. We're almost out of here. With that being said, I want to say Kah Halal, La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Havrakakodash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostle, the great millstone, and salutations to the argument that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth throughout the four corners of the earth. And peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, shalom.